Jeremiah 23. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. The letter J is about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity more than 2,000 years ago. And a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yehoshua is Joshua. Yah is short for YahWeh, YahWeh, Yod-He, Vod-He, Yod-He, Vod-He. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only. And there's nothing different between the names. Yah is an extremely jealous El. He doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. Jeremiah 23. Woe to the shepherds destroying and scattering the sheep of my pasture, declares YahWeh. Therefore thus said YahWeh, Elohim of Israel, against the shepherds who feed my people, who have scattered my flock, driven them away, and have not tended them. See, I am punishing you for the evil of your deeds, declares YahWeh. Therefore I shall gather the remnant of my flock out of all the lands where I have driven them, and shall bring them back to their fold, and they shall bear and increase, and I shall raise up shepherds over them, and they shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be discouraged, nor shall they be lacking, declares YahWeh. See, the days are coming, declares YahWeh, when I shall rise for David a branch of righteousness, and a sovereign shall reign and act wisely, and shall do right rulings and righteousness in the earth. In his days Yehudah shall be saved, and Israel dwell safely, and this is his name, whereby he shall be called YahWeh of righteousness. What is the paper, Tom? Don't worry about it. Therefore, see, the days are coming, declares YahWeh, when they shall say no more, as YahWeh lives, who brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Mitzrayim, but as YahWeh lives, who brought up and led the seat of the house of Israel out of the land of the north, and from all the lands where I had driven them, and they shall dwell on their own soils. My heart within me is broken because of the prophets. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man overcome with wine, because of YahWeh and because of his set-apart words. For the land is filled with adulterers, for the land mourns because of a curse. The pastures of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil, and their might is not right, for both prophet and priest have become defiled. Even in my house I have found their evil, declares YahWeh. Therefore their way is to them like slippery ways in the dark. They are driven on, and they shall fall in them. They are driven on, and they shall fall in them, for I bring evil on them, the year of their punishment, declares YahWeh. And I have seen folly in the prophets of Shomron. They prophesied by Baal. Baal is Greek for Lord, B-A'-A-L, exactly how it is spelled here. And led my people Israel astray. And among the prophets of Jerusalem I have seen a horrible matter, committing adultery and walking in falsehood, and they strengthened the hands of evil ones, so that no one turns back from his evil. All of them are like Sodom to me, and her inhabitants are like Amorah. Therefore thus said YahWeh of hosts concerning the prophets, see, a man making him eat wormwood, and shall make them drink poisoned water, for defilement has gone out into all the land of the prophets of Jerusalem. Thus said YahWeh of hosts, do not listen to the words of the prophets who prophesy to you. They lead you astray. They speak a vision of their own heart, not from the mouth of YahWeh. They keep on saying to those who despise me, YahWeh has said, you shall have peace. And to all who walk according to the stubbornness of their own heart, they say, no evil comes upon you. For who has stood in the counsel of YahWeh and has seen and heard his word? Who has listened to his word and obeyed it? See, a storm of YahWeh shall go forth in the rage of a whirling storm. It whirls on the head of the wrong. The displeasure of YahWeh shall not turn back until he has done and established the purposes of his heart. In the later days you shall understand it perfectly. Later, Latter. In the later days you shall understand it perfectly. I did not send these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they had stood in my counsel, then they would have let my people hear my words, and they would have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their deeds. Am I an Elohim close by, declares YahWeh, and not an Elohim afar off? If anyone is hidden in secret places, would I not see him? Declares YahWeh. I do not fill the heavens and earth, declares YahWeh. I have heard what the prophets have said, who prophesy falsehood in my name. That's blasphemy of his name, I'm pretty sure. In my name, saying, I have dreamed. Till when shall it be in the heart of the prophets of falsehood, and prophets of the deceit of their own heart, who try to make my people forget my name by their dreams, which everyone relates to his neighbor, as their fathers forgot my name for Baal, Ba'al. They forgot my name for Lord. The prophet who has a dream, let him relate the dream, and he who has my word, let him speak my word in truth. What is the chaff of the wheat? What is the chaff to the wheat, declares YahWeh? Is not my word like a fire, declares YahWeh, and like a hammer that shatters a rock? Therefore, see, I am against the prophets, declares YahWeh, who steal my words, every one from his neighbor. See, I am against the prophets, declares YahWeh, who use their tongues and say, he declares. See, I am against those who prophesy false dreams, declares YahWeh, and relate them and lead my people astray by their falsehoods and by their reckless boasting. But I myself did not send them, nor have I commanded them, and they do not profit this people at all, declares YahWeh. And when these people, or the prophet or the priest, ask you, saying, what is the message of YahWeh? Then you shall say to them, what message? I shall forsake you, declares YahWeh. As for the prophet and the priest and the people who say the message of YahWeh, I shall punish that man and his house. This is what each one says to his neighbor and each one to his brother. What has YahWeh answered, and what has YahWeh spoken? But the messenger of YahWeh you no longer remember, for every man's message is his own word, for you have changed the words of the living Elohim, Yah of hosts, our Elohim. This is what you say to the prophet. What has YahWeh answered you, and what has YahWeh spoken? But since you say the message of YahWeh, therefore thus said YahWeh, because you say this word, the message of YahWeh, and I have sent to you, saying, do not say the message of YahWeh. Therefore, see, I shall utterly forget you and cast you away from my presence, along with the city that I gave you and your fathers, and I shall put an everlasting reproach on you and an everlasting shame that is not forgotten.